Yeah, so Pompe disease, lysosomal storage disease, and it is a range or a spectrum. So there are infantile cases where people can be diagnosed within the first year of life and typically have really severe cardiac involvement. And then there's later onset, which can present anywhere from the first year of life into the sixth decade, and it is characterized by not having cardiac involvement. And so late onset is actually a spectrum as well, where it can be more severe or less severe as well. So my study, I'm talking with pretty much anyone who's received a diagnosis of Pompe disease through newborn screening, both infantile and late onset, but focusing more on the late onset experience and how that really differs from the infantile onset, and how families are dealing and coping with this diagnosis when at this point in time their children aren't showing any symptoms. And so they're finding out that their children have this disease that could present tomorrow and it could present in 40 years from now. And most families seem to be dealing with it pretty well so far, but of course they're all much more aware of the possibility that their child could have this disease, and they're hyper aware of symptoms and monitoring their children and their milestones and their progress over the years. And then there's this increased anxiety of they just don't know what the future is going to hold and how that's going to impact both their lives and their children's lives in the future. So it's an autosomal recessive condition that's caused by mutations in the GAA protein, and for individuals who inherit two mutations in this gene, they have the disease. And those mutations can be a range, anywhere from not having any enzyme activity left at all to having some residual activity, just not as much as is expected. And so those with no enzyme activity tend to have a more severe phenotype than those who have a little bit of enzyme that's still working in their body.